Hello, this is lesson 7.5 factoring expressions, and what I want you to do is to split your paper into 4 equal sections and press pause so you can do so, and when you're ready to continue, press play. Please pause now. On the upper left side, what I want you to do is copy what you see on your screen, pause your video so you can copy it down, and when you're ready to continue, press play. So here we have the word factor. When it says to factor something, it means to write a number as a product of factors. So for example, if I say factor 15, possible answer would be 5 times 3. Those are factors. And then GCF is known as the greatest common factor. And that, when it says to find the greatest common factor, means to find the biggest number a set of numbers are divisible by. So for example, the GCF of 8 and 12 equals 4 because 4 is the greatest number that'll go into 8 and 12 evenly. Okay, so we're going to find the GCF of some numbers, but some of them are going to have variables, and when it has a variable, they're known as monomials. Okay, so we're going to have to find the GCF of these two. So the biggest number that'll go into 16 and 64C. And I like to use the ladder method. Some people know it as the upside down cake method or upside down division method. And what we're going to do is we're going to be dividing using a division bar that's written upside down. So I'm going to go ahead. I want you to do the same, is to put a division bar here. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask ourselves, okay, what goes into 16 and 64C? And some of you may say 8, and some of you may say 2 or 4 or even 16. So if you know that it's 16, great. We can go ahead and do the GCF is 16, so we'll write 16 here. And then what you do is you divide 16 into both of these monomials. So 16 goes into 16 one time, so we write our answer at the bottom, 1. And then on the next monomial, we have 64C. 16 goes into 64 4 times, but then we have the C, so we're going to have 4C. So when we divide this by 16, we get 4C. And then you look at these two numbers, we have 1 and a 4C, and they don't have any other GCF other than 1. So when you're done dividing any other factors out, then you're done with this method, and your GCF are the numbers in this column, which for this problem, we only have one number, and that is 16. So we write here the GCF equals 16. Now let's look at problem number 2. On number 2, we have 42MN and 14MN. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the little upside down division bar. Okay. And let's see what goes into both of these. Let's start with a smaller number this time. Let's start with 7 so I can show you what you do if you have more than one number on the outside. And we're going to divide 7 out of 42MN, which would be 6. But then we bring down the variables, mn. And then we're going to do the same thing, divide 7 out of 14mn, and we get 2. And we bring down mn. So now we have 6 and we have 2. So let's do the numbers first. We'll take care of the variables next. We can divide a 2 out. So what you're going to do is draw another division bar, take a 2 out, and then here we're going to have 3mn. And then on the next one, we're going to have 1mn. Okay, so now we're done with the numbers because we have 3 and 1. And now we're going to use look at the variables. We have an m here and an m here. So I can divide out an m from both terms. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right. Another division bar and dividing out an m. Okay, when I divide out an m from here, that means I'm going to take this out, and all I'm left with is 3n. The m has come out. I divided it out. And then on the next term, we have 1mn. We're going to take away that m because we're dividing it out, and we're left with 1n. And now we look at our last two numbers. We have 3n and 1n, and I can still divide out a number. I can divide out an n. So I'm going to draw my last division bar here, put an n on the outside. And so when I divide out an n, I'm going to get a 3, and then I'm also going to get a 1 here. And now I'm left with just 3 and 1, so I'm done. And then your GCF is, we call it the tower, okay? So GCF is the tower. I'm going to go ahead and write, please write tower here. GCF, put equals tower. All right, and then what you do is you multiply those. So you have 7 times 2 times m times n. So then we're going to have the GCF is 14mn. And we box our answer. Now, what I want you to do right now is I want you to draw a tower on the right side of this problem as our code picture. Draw a tower, doesn't matter what it looks like. It could be like a tower of a castle or like a lighthouse type tower. We're moving on to the next slide. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to look at these expressions and we're going to factor them. This here is known as a binomial because there are two terms. So we're going to use the upside down method again, dividing method. So here I'm going to go ahead and put a division, and I have to divide the same number out of these two terms, 4x and 8, and then that answer is 4. Okay, that number is 4. So when I divide out a 4x from a 4 from 4x, we're going to get a 1x or just x. And then I bring down the plus sign, and I'm going to divide out a 4 from here, and we're going to bring down, it's going to become a 2. Okay. Now I have this 1x plus 2. So we're not just looking for the GCF. The GCF here is 4. We're going to rewrite this as a product. So this is going to be equal to, the 4x plus 8, is equal to 4, and then times x plus 2. We don't need the 1 in front of the x. Although if you were to put the 1 in front of the x, I wouldn't mark it wrong. Okay, so that's factoring. Now let's factor out the next expression. So here we're going to draw our division, upside down division bar, and 3 and 33x are divisible by 3. So then 3 goes into 3 one time, so let's write 1, plus 3 goes into 33x, 11x times. Okay, we're factoring. We're not finding the GCF. So the 3 plus 33x is going to be factored to 3. And then in parentheses, we write this, 1 plus 11x. So now it's been factored. This is it. 3 times the sum of 1 plus 11x. Now let's look at number 5. On number 5, we have 4x plus 57. So we're going to factor. And if you noticed, 4 and 57 don't have any common factors other than 1. So when you see that it cannot be factored with any other number other than 1, we write cannot be factored. So let's go ahead and write that cannot be factored, and that's all we would put for our answer on that one. Now on number 6, you'll see problems like this on your assignment today where they give you a rectangle and they say the area of this rectangle here is 12x and the rectangle here, the area of that is 8 units. So what we're going to do is we're going to write this as we're going to factor this out. So first we have to write expression for the area of the entire shape. So to find the expression for the entire shape, we just add this area plus this area. So now our expression is 12x plus 8. Oops, that's not an 8. Here we go. Let's try that again. 8. There we go. All right, now let's say you decide to factor it by dividing 4. Well, no, 4 would work. Sorry. Let's say you divide by 2 first. I'm going to show you to make sure you understand. So we're going to write here, I'm going to put a 2. In case this happens where you have 6x here and a 4 here and you're not done factoring. So what you're going to do is divide it by 2 again. Okay. And you're going to get 3x plus 2 down here. All right. Now to factor this out, The numbers in your tower, you have to combine those. Okay, just make sure they're combined. So that's going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. So this factors out to 4. And then in parentheses, you're going to put this sum, 3x plus 2. So you have 3x plus 2. And then this is your solution. And that's all for your notes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.